It is the 10th of February, 1938. Last month, the Spanish Civil War has ended, and we are now refocusing our interest towards both Finland, which seems to be massing a fair amount of troops on our borders, and towards Eastern Asia, where Japan is at war with China, but seems to be struggling to make anything happen. And we'll just be wary of any potential assault from their side. But for now, it looks like things are peaceful, which means we can focus inwards and focusing on killing Trotsky while keeping an eye on Stalin's political paranoia. So next up, we'll be probably looking at something in Mexico. So okay, the volunteers are back, which means I'm not sure where my armored divisions, did they go back to the unit that they came from? Where did my armored divisions go? They should be. Did they go to Asia? No. Yes, they did. Okay, no, you don't go to Asia. You go to Europe. That's where you are needed. And this division can go back into the over there. So that extremely experienced mountain division can go in there. And we may be actually able to, yeah, we can promote some skills in whoever hasn't been shot just yet. Actually, who are we gonna go for another? Yeah, we're gonna have another. Yeah, we're gonna have another purge. Okay, I'm not gonna start promoting people just yet, because Stalin might shoot them still. Anyway. For the time being, we are still very much focused on construction of factories as much as we can possibly, and we are working on that, and we do have to keep an eye on the paranoia because it is increasing very rapidly. Okay, the basic medium tank chassis has been completed. This should give us access to the A20, I believe, prototype. It is. So we've got the A20, which is a T-34 prototype. So that thing's got, what has it got? A diesel engine, which is not particularly great. A welded armor, Christie suspension. It's got a small cannon, which I think it's something like a 47mm or something similar. Sloped armor and a turret. So, I mean, it is a medium tank. It is not the fastest, but it definitely, if we're comparing that with the BT-7A, it's not very fast, but the armor is significantly better than that thing. So maybe we'll see if we can actually create a variant of that that is worth starting to produce in small numbers. This is a prototype after all. So first of all, not the suspension. I think suspension is good as is. Yeah, Christie suspension I think we can work with. No need for interleaved wheels, all this complicated tech, but switching out the diesel for a gasoline engine is actually, it's not that much greater because the speed is not that great and it donks fairly severely onto reliability. So no, maybe we'll stick with that. Anything else we can do on the guns? We could replace it with an autocannon, which is useless. We could. Which one are we using? We are using the improved small cannon, I think. So yeah, that one. We could replace it with a close support gun, but that would make it relatively useless against other tanks. And yeah, no, I think that's actually not terrible. So probably the only thing we can do is stick a radio onto it. That's slightly increases the production cost. We don't want to make it too expensive, but it does help with. I mean, defense is terrible anyway. It does give us a little bit of breakthrough, and we could put some additional machine guns on there. Also for a relatively small price. So if we give it 2 machine guns and a radio, that would make it a little bit more viable. Although, do I really? let's see what it looks like. So right now we're at 12.87 because we do need slightly better engines if possible. The speed is not great on these things. We could do with a bit more armor, better armor plating, but this is all we can do. So that would that be worth it? So reliability down to 90%, which is doable. Production costs slightly more. Probably not worth it because we're just going to go with the cheap variant. Let's just build that thing. So we will get that into production, which come on, obviously means we are going to need we're going to reduce the we're going to take one factory off the BT7As. We're just going to get these to I mean, these are just upgrades. So we might still get our light tank divisions sorted out. Alternatively, yeah, we might still use them. So we'll leave two on that. We're just going to start building up some production efficiency, which means we can now we could focus on the heavy tank, which would I think give us the KV1, but I don't have the industry to start building that thing just yet. We could I want instead to focus on concentrated 3. That's we are ahead of time, but that'll give our factories more output. So that's what we'll focus on for now. Stability would be great. So once we have enough political power, we can probably hire Kalinin, who is going to give us 15% stability. So that would be worth it, I guess. Alternatively, we could do the improved worker conditions. We are communist after all, but and we can actually we can bring. I didn't notice that we can bring this. We need to do. We can bring experts on the Госпрojektstroy, that thing. Could bring German experts, which gives us minus 25% license production cost. Not really interested. British experts, production line retention. Lack of resource penalty and license purchase. Japanese we could bring. Production efficiency base or Americans. And the Americans, okay, we need to make the nobody here likes us sufficiently. So this would give us plus 10% production efficiency cap. That is actually interesting. This is growth. This is retention. Lack of resource penalty. British experts sounds quite nice, actually. That would be... I don't really care about the license purchase cost. I'm not planning to build licensed equipment necessarily. But this would be a production efficiency base from the Japanese. I'm thinking British or Americans. The retention would somewhat help. No, I think I'm going to go for the cap. Yeah, we want maximum production efficiency, so we'll go with the Americans, which means we need to make the Americans like us a little bit more. So let's send someone over and improve our relations. Okay, let's keep an eye on that, such that we can then send... we do need to keep an eye on Stalin's paranoia. 9% still, and we are working on this one. Okay. So that's ongoing. We just need to make sure that the Americans are sufficiently in favor of us, and we need 30. Then we can probably stop. We go a little bit further because it's going to degrade until I have 50 political power. So or not. No, Japan. Our attachés will go wherever we please, which of course costs us political power again. But I think that should probably be sufficient. Yeah, that's probably be enough. Okay, stop that, and we'll wait until we've got 50 political power, and then we can deal with that. Not sure what the Finns are up to here, but we'll dig in where we have supply. Okay, behead the snake is complete. It has become absolutely clear that the Union will not be safe until the threat of Trotskyist coup is fully banished. It would be good to put Trotsky on trial, but we do not have that luxury. But we can assassinate him. So, first of all, obviously the next one we want to do is this one, but we still need 100 odd days to make that happen. I am looking at the 5-year plan, because we're still 200 days away from construction 3. I want the construction bonus for construction 4, but we're still quite a ways away. Alternatively, I think we can do Eastern Development, which gives me infrastructure and civilian factories. Yeah, sure. We'll do that one. It's a 35-day slot. And yes, his paranoia has been reset. And we can, I think we now are, yes, we're now recruiting another operative, because we can prepare the assassination. And I think once we do get an extra operative from this focus. So I think he's going to be good in that regard to make that happen. Okay, yeah, that's going. So the other thing, we do need more research slots at some point. But for now, we are just going to focus on construction. It's all in the industry right now. Can we actually build more? Do we have? Do we need more infrastructure? I think we might. We are building things in the east. Let's get another couple of infrastructure projects going. What are we short on? Actually, the other thing that I wanted to do, right? I wanted to, hang on, how far, when is the next, the 1940s, that's still way too far out. So what I want to do is design ourselves a close air support aircraft, because I'm not contented with the performance of our aircraft at all. So let's begin with a basic airframe, and then we will be putting, I think small bomb bays are the best. So all of these, we could use anti-tank cannons or the small bomb bays, but the bomb bay is actually lighter than the tank cannons. We could use the bomb locks, which so we'll look at that. This with a cast mission gives me 6 ground attack and reduces agility to 30. If we use the internal bomb base, we actually get it's a little heavier, but we get more ground attack and more agility out of that. So that's the actual better choice. And comparing that to the anti-tank weapons, they're just heavier, but not in any way better. And they're restricting. We can't do any kind of port strikes with them. So why bother? Which means we're going to put another one in there, small bomb base, and that'll reduce the agility somewhat. But we're now too heavy, so we need better engines. We want to stay on a single engine. That gets us to 16, which means we might be able to throw in an LMG turret here. We could even throw in a twin turret for a bit more air attack. This is kind of just to potentially shoot down some attacking bombers. I think we're going with a cheap option here because that's already expensive enough. Let's go with the, and that is the LBSH, which was an existing aircraft, but I think it was only a prototype. So we do this prototype and then we start constructing that, which means the I-16As need to lose a factory. And that needs to go back to 1, and there we go. Okay, now we've got all balanced. What was I saying? Yes, did I actually send the aircraft on trainings? I think I did. Yep, these are on training missions. Perfect. Okay, so everybody actually. No, you don't do that. You do training missions as well. Okay. Yes, we need more aircraft and better aircraft, because the Luftwaffe has shown us in Spain that we absolutely have no chance against them. So that's definitely something we're going to need to work on. 17 days until we get the operative, and we do have 63, so we should be now in. Yes, we can bring in the American experts, which will improve the Großprojektstreu. And we get +10 efficiency cap, which is amazing, which means that our production efficiency, once we let that tick over, is at 75%. And we haven't even researched, my gosh, we haven't even researched, where is it? We haven't even researched the 1939 machine tools. So, yeah, that that is pretty. I think it has literally just bumped it up. It's difficult to tell. Yeah, we used to make 1.5 of these per week, but we're making 6 a week. So this has definitely improved our production efficiency across the board. So that is good, which means we're also making more guns now, which we need. And we need to research better guns at some point. But for now, this is fine. Is there anything else we can do? I don't know if we can still do these. I mean, we might be. Oh, this isn't actually done yet, is it? Is this what we already have? Hang on. Construction. Yeah, this is not even there yet. So this is even going to get better still. My gosh. So this is already pretty good as it is. Anyway, where was I? Yes. Let's keep going. Just making sure I don't miss anything. We do need to keep an eye on our timings with the construction and industry, and we definitely need to keep an eye on the paranoia. So we might still have a. I think we still have one focus to reduce paranoia. So after Eastern development is done, we'll do that. Okay, we can now hire. And this is what I was waiting for, Mr. Senor Ramon Mercader, because he is of Spanish nationality. Do I want this one? No, this one's Hungarian, yeah. I think this is the one I want, because he's also got the Mexican passport. Yes, this is the guy I want. So we get him, and which means we can now kick off the subtle assassination mission, which is going to take almost a year. But if we send him, we've got a good chance that this is going to succeed. So he will, using a forged Canadian passport, he will travel to Trotsky's location and befriend his guards. Then he will isolate Trotsky from his guards by showing him an article he wants to discuss in private. Once alone, he will assassinate Trotsky with an ice pick. Not with an ice pick, with an ice pick. Our agent will escape by crossing the border at night in a remote location. Local guides are standing by to assist in navigating the treacherous area. So commence when ready. Yep, let's get that going. And commence that, yes. Which means we can now pull, given that that's on the way, I think we can now pull him off and bring him back into counterintelligence. Just to make sure, I don't want him to start causing any trouble with the Germans just yet. Okay, Eastern development is finished. We have 15% paranoia, but we are at this point growing at 3% per week, which means we're going to cross the 25 relatively soon. Fortunately, we still have a centralization and discipline. 35-day focus decreases it by 20 and gives us more command power increase, political power, and all the good stuff. So let's do that as well. 3 more divisions. Who's missing divisions? You, not you. You need more divisions. So let's get these 3. Actually, let's get 2. Fill out that army group. That army, and then we send the other ones here. Zhukov is back with his light tank divisions, who can get some rest here. We will need to improve our divisions at some point, but we might actually do that. So we've got the Strelkovaya Divizia, which is our rifle division. That's literally what that means. I am thinking of improving these a little. So they can definitely do with support AA, but I don't think I have actually enough towed anti-air. Nice. So we can add that. We do want an engineer, I think. Do I want support AT? It does help with the piercing quite a bit. So maybe support anti-tank might not be a terrible choice, but I don't have any anti-tank, so we're not doing that yet. But we can put some engineers in here. So this division We need support equipment, which we mostly have, and additional infantry equipment, which we don't. So we'll do that for now. That has upgraded our defensive divisions a little bit, and we will create a guards division. I may as well start doing that. So let's duplicate that. And I do need to look up what they're called, so give me a second. So I am not completely sure if that's the right way to do it, but I'm going to call them Gvardeyskaya. So this is a guard rifle division. Do we actually have guards mechanized, guards tanks, guards rifles? Yes, I think I did that right. Okay, so these would be the guards rifles. These are the more powerful divisions. So let's see. We definitely want some line artillery in these, and I'm thinking. So we do want some line artillery. We're not going to build these yet, but we'll have to see. The problem. One problem is obviously the organization, but we want these to be a little bit more powerful. Because if we are looking at the, and that's another thing I need to actually do. If we are looking at, we're looking over here, the, there. So once we're going down this tree, yes, I know it's not the most ideal tree, but we're using it anyway. At some point, the combat width is going to be reduced. Now I don't know by how much. I might have to run the numbers here. I think it's this one. So this one reduces combat width by 0.04, which isn't a huge amount. But this means we might be able to use some somewhat larger divisions. I haven't run the numbers on that yet. I think the right path does that as well. Yeah, there's the same thing here. So the vast offensives reduces infantry combat width by 0.04. So we can probably make these a little bit larger. So I'm thinking, I don't know, 10 with infantry? Sorry, 10 infantry and 3 artillery? How does that look like? The organization is terrible, but that's partly because we haven't gone through the what do you call it? Through the doctrines. That's the one. And because we still have the Red Army spirit, which is reducing by 15%. So I think that's a manageable. We might even throw a line anti-tank in here if we can. So these would be the more punchy infantry divisions. So they will obviously be elite divisions, and they need to obviously get the. What are we going to give them? We can give them the star, but I'm reserving that for the tank divisions, I think. Let's see. Do we have tanks with this? No, we've got tanks with a lightning rod. I may as well give them the star. So these are our guards divisions, and we'll leave it like that for now. We will. I did duplicate this, did I? Right? Okay, hang on. I need to do it again. Just to make sure I did duplicate it, because I stepped away to research that. So let's make sure we're duplicating this. Yes. And this was the... now I forgot what it was called. Hang on. We have it here, however. So Gvardeyskaya. So this is the like this. Kaya. Double check. No, the other way around. So it's like this. So first the Y and then the I. There we go. Guards divisions, and then they will be, what did I say? 10 infantry, 3 artillery. So pretty arty heavy. And they will get the Soviet star and their elite divisions, and save that, and that's done. Okay. And we are, yeah, we're not training any of these yet because we don't have the production, but we are starting to get in decent. I think that'll flip once I have, or do I still have artillery? Actually, I do. Might as well start training some of them. Let's start training. I don't know, like 1 army of them. I'm not sure if I want to create a full army out of these, or if I'm just going to mix them in certain points. But I definitely want to have some more powerful divisions. Anyway, so we're almost done with computing machine. Let's get that through. Keep an eye on the political paranoia. But this is a 35-day focus, so we should be relatively quick with that. And okay, computing machine's done. This is going to be January 1939, so next year still. So we've still got some time here until that's complete. But we do have a research slot now. We can't really proceed here just yet. We can't proceed anywhere here. This is too early. We could start researching radar, but I am thinking of making sure that we are working our way towards better infantry equipment, because that's going to be an issue. Air is still too far. We do, however, have a couple of air upgrades that we can also research, but I don't have any of the designers yet, so I don't really want to go too much into tanks or anything. Ideally, we'll just we'll just pick up a. Oh, there's one thing we can do. We can research the armored trains. Yes, let's get that going, because that's a good one, because we need those as well. And yeah, we've purged the shipyard stuff, so naval research speed's dreadful, which is fine because we're not doing any anyway. All right, and I think we're already saturated again with construction, so let's queue up a couple more civilian factories. I think I did say that I wanted to build more infrastructure. Yes, okay, so let's queue that as well, and then I think we're good. And we might have to start trading for rubber, because we are starting to. Who can we trade with rubber? We could trade with British Malaya. Yeah, may as well. Can't really trade with anybody else that we care about. Yeah, British Malaya. Send me rubber, because we are taking quite severe impact into production right now. And what else are we short of? We are running relatively short on tungsten and aluminium. So let's see if we can find ourselves a place that produces tungsten and aluminium. We've got some aluminium here. Did anybody see tungsten? Where we can still improve. Oh, that's a lot of stuff, but it's not tungsten. It's mostly chromium. Far East, do you got any tungsten? Oh, we've got some here. Anything that has a lot of tungsten that I can prioritize? Nothing in Siberia as usual. Nothing but dissidents and gulags. And lots of cold weather. That's up steel up north. Here, this one. Oh, there we go. That's a decent amount of tungsten in the Krasnodar region. So let's do that. And then I think we had some aluminium. I've seen some aluminium over here when I was passing by. That's already being buffed. Because we are gonna need here. Yeah, that's some time. Nope, not this one. Not that one. Do this, please. That'll give us some additional aluminium, which we're currently all trading away. That's one reason, but we'll get there. We get there. Anyway, not the most eventful episode. I'm still extremely rushing down the. I'm still extremely rushing down the tree of infrastructure and construction. And this is the American experts are working. We can't really pick any of the others just yet. We might bring the Brits in as well. I don't know if we can still. I think we can do that. So that'll help as well. Counter the heavy industry, the concentrated industry. So I think that was actually not a bad decision to do that in the light of what we got. And yes, we're starting to train up some guards divisions. I am gonna am I giving these? Yeah, I'm gonna give this low priority just to make sure that the reinforcements and upgrades are happening. And yeah, we are slowly going to start building. What are we building? What was I saying? This one, the LBSH, the small close air support, small airplanes, but not an awful lot. But we will switch to full war economy eventually. But for now, we're just building up our industry. So far, Europe looks relatively peaceful. The Spanish are peaceful. We haven't really intervened in China just yet. We've just sent the attaché, but it looks like this is just peacefully happening. So there's some experience trickling in from there as it goes. Anyway, that's it for me today. Thanks everybody, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.